Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Climate. I'm Jennifer Giordano, and today we're bringing you a special research episode. We'll be taking a look at our latest American Climate Perspective survey titled Bi-Partisan American Attitudes, It's Time for Urgent Climate Action. I'm joined by Nicole Hill, who co-authored the report along with ecoAmerica Executive Director Megan Spicer. Let's begin this episode with a few questions. Nicole, can you tell us a bit about the background of this survey and why ecoAmerica conducted it?
Hi, Jennifer. Good morning. And yes, definitely. This survey explores American attitudes on seriousness, urgency, the ability to make a difference, and the prioritization of climate change. Specifically, the report analyzes these beliefs across political affiliations. And it's important to understand where Americans are at in terms of who thinks climate change is a serious problem, who believes it's not even happening, and what percentage of the public believes that. In the midterm elections, climate candidates actually fared better than some predictions. And so it's important to know who believes addressing climate change should be a priority for the United States so we can better understand why we saw some of the outcomes that we did.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm heartened to hear that climate candidates did better than predicted. Please share what you found.
Great, let's get into it. So before I begin, I of course want to go over the methodology, which can be found with the top lines and the full report on ecoAmerica's website, and they'll also be linked in the video description below. This report was fielded on September 27th, 2022, and it yielded 1,076 complete adult responses. In interpreting the survey results, it is important to note that all sample surveys are subject to possible sampling error, and the margin of error for this sample is plus or minus 3%. And now I can dig into the findings. This first graph shows that nearly 7 in 10 Americans think that climate change is either a very or fairly serious problem. We asked the sample to select the option that describes them best between, I think climate change is a very serious problem, I think climate change is a very serious problem, I take a wait and see approach on climate change, and I don't believe climate change is a problem. So 69% nationally said that they think climate change is a serious problem. That's 46% who said it was very serious and 23% who said it was fairly serious. I'll note that this includes almost half of Republicans who identify with that seriousness. So 19% said that it's very serious and 28% say it's fairly serious. However, I'll note too that 20%, so about 1 in 5 Republicans say that they don't believe climate change is a problem at all. The large majority of Democrats think that climate change is a serious problem, including 64% who say it's very serious. And then independents align pretty closely with the national average. So 69% say climate change is serious, including this 41% who say very, and this 28% who say fairly.
Thanks, Nicole. So half of Republicans, 47%, say that climate change is a very or fairly serious problem. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So despite the Republican Party traditionally being unsupportive of climate policies, actually a good portion of Americans who self-identify as Republicans do think that climate change is a serious problem. The next question we asked the sample about revolved around urgency. So the question was, please indicate if you agree or disagree with the following statement. We need to take urgent action now to reduce the pollution that causes climate change. What we found is that a high majority, 85% of Americans either strongly agree, so 56%, or somewhat agree, 29%, that we need to take urgent action now. This includes a majority across all political party affiliations, 73% of Republicans, 93% of Democrats, and then 82% of independents either strongly or somewhat agree.
Wow, so this is somewhere where we see bipartisan support across the board with majorities from each party agreeing that we need to take urgent action now. Can you tell us about Americans' belief about being able to make a difference?
Yes, absolutely. So actually only about 1 in 3 Americans say that we can definitely make a difference in slowing or reducing climate change. 39% believe that we might be able to slow or reduce climate change. Only 19% say that we can't stop climate change even if it's happening, and only 10% say that they don't believe climate change is happening at all. You'll see in this graph that Democrats and independents generally are displaying more confidence in our ability to make a difference compared to Republicans. But what's really important to note is that climate solutions are here. They're available to us now. Even in the newly released even in the newly released Lancet Countdown Report on Health and Climate, it provides evidence that approaching climate change with health-based solutions can drastically change future outcomes.
Right, and ecoAmerica offers resources to help you get involved. So if you're listening to this and can identify with the feeling that we can reduce climate change, definitely check those resources out to take action. Nicole, any more findings?
Yes, so this is our last graph to show. ecoAmerica asked our sample what level of priority they think addressing climate change should be for the country. Nationally, about 2/3 said it should be a priority. So about 1/3 said that it should be a top priority, and then about another third said it should be a high priority. Roughly 1 in 5 chose this medium priority category, bringing the total of those who think it should be some level of priority to over 4 in 5, so 84%. Democrats prioritize addressing climate change at the highest levels, with nearly half, 47%, voicing that it should be a top priority, and then 34% saying high priority for the US. Most independents prioritize climate change, with 83% voicing some level of prioritization. So 24% are saying it should be a top priority, 38% say it should be a high priority, and then 21% are saying medium priority. And then over 1/3 of Republicans believe it should be a top or high priority. So 15% identify with top, 20% identify with high. And then about another third are identifying with it being a medium priority. So that brings the total to about 67%. And that wraps up all the findings that I have today. I want to thank all the listeners who tuned in. And if you found this webcast interesting, I do hope that you share it with your networks.
Thank you. Thank you for your work here, Nicole. It's pretty clear that most Americans understand what's at stake regarding the importance of climate action. ecoAmerica is doing our part in providing people with the tools to move this important mission forward. We'll keep an eye on how the new Congress prioritizes climate change in the next few months and in the coming year. We encourage everyone to go to ecoamerica.org to download the full report and social toolkit. Please join us in sharing these findings with your network. Let us know if you have any feedback on this episode or ideas about future topics. We're at research@ecoamerica.org. And join us every Tuesday for live episodes of Let's Talk Climate. You can engage with us using the hashtag Let's Talk Climate. Subscribe and follow @ecoAmerica on social for the latest research and resources on climate action and advocacy. See you soon.